Some of us want to change, but we don't know how to, or we feel like it's too hard, like things outside of us need to change first in order for me to change. But it's a condition that we have been taught to believe. But when in reality, in all truthfulness, our life changes when we change. When the internal changes, the external changes. It has no choice but to. Your soul remembers who you are even when you forget. And it's not your fault. We have been so conditioned, so programmed since birth to live this way. It's truly intentional that we have forgotten. We're meant to get back to who we truly are, to remember who we truly are. Like, I feel like it's a part of this game, this thing that we call life, you know. It's a part of the matrix, the structure, from the news, you know, the media, the radio, the the television. It's all programming, television program. It's all different types of frequencies, and they're putting out fear. They're putting out guilt, anger, a general low vibrational frequency for the masses to be conditioned into believing into this dogma, into believing that it's just the way things are. It's just the way this life is. It's just who I am. I can't change. Some of us want to change, but we don't know how to, or we feel like it's too hard, like things outside of us need to change first in order for me to change. But once again, it's a condition that we have been taught to believe. But when in reality, in all truthfulness, the realness, our life changes when we change. When the internal changes, the external changes. It has no choice but to. And this 3D reality that we see in front of us is based off of our perception, how we see things. So it's inevitable for anybody to have gone through trauma. There is no one size fits all when it comes to trauma. We all see it in different ways. You know, it's all about perspective, right? So between religious trauma, energetic interference, and the shame we've been taught to carry, whatever type of trauma, whatever type of guilt, the connections get blurry. And in this episode, we're clearing the static, we're cutting the cords, and coming back to home to ourselves, spiritually, vibrationally, and energetically. So if your spirit has been craving clarity, alignment, connection, this one is for you. Tap in. Welcome back and welcome in. Much love to y'all for tuning in. Peace and blessings. I'm sending you so much love, so much light, because I know this episode, let alone this series, hasn't been easy to digest. For some it has. For some things may have been coming up of cognitive dissonance and resistance, but that's a good thing, because resistance means your ego doesn't like it, and your spirit, your true divine self, is coming in. You're shedding light on the darkness. So kudos to you for having the courage to watch these videos, to learn from them and grow from them. Give yourself grace, give yourself love. I just want to do a little breathing exercise, because I feel like this episode will really touch some people in a deep way. So I want to start off with some relaxation. All right, we're going to do a 3-breath exercise, and it's called box breathing. 4 seconds in, 4 seconds hold, 4 seconds out, 4 seconds hold, and then repeat. All right, let's go. 4 seconds in, hold, 4 seconds out, hold, and repeat. Much love to you. Thank you. I'm sure your internal self thanks you. So let's get into it. Have you ever felt disconnected from yourself and couldn't explain why? Or you're doing all the mindset work, but you still feel stuck? That's because some chains are spiritual, not mental. And these are unseen attachments that hold your energy to the past, like shame, guilt, generational patterns that you didn't choose, but you inherited. I know it sounds so cliche. Some people don't even believe in generational curses or generational things. But there is a such thing, just like there's generational wealth, just like there's generational poverty. Like there's the energy is real. So there's definitely generational patterns that you inherited energetically, because everything is energy. We don't just look like our parents. We don't just look like our grandparents. We don't just look like our family. Like that shit runs through your blood. So what runs the body keeps the score means every cell in your body is connected to not only you, but energy from your past generations. Your mom, more so than your dad, but your mom, your parents, your grandparents, your cousins, all that shit is connected. But we can change it if we choose to, when we choose to. The feelings like you're not good enough is rooted in shame. You feel like you need to be loved, or invalidating your feelings and your wants to feel loved and accepted is conditioning. It could be based off your parents, your mom or something, that she wanted you to be quiet. Children are meant to be seen and not heard type shit. So in order for you to feel like you were wanted or loved, your voice went away. You know what I mean? And you did what was needed to be accepted. Or there could be fear of thriving because of guilt, leaving other people behind that you love. There's many different things that could have been passed down to us, or just even our own experiences. We adapted shame and guilt, our own mistakes, you know what I mean? And instead of giving ourselves love and grace, we held on to that energy and let it shift us into something that doesn't feed into our best self, our higher self, our godlike self. I touched on a little bit on why this shit happens, generationally. It's not just DNA, but it's energy. And then also culturally, from the program. And it gives us shame and guilt and fear, these things that tend to program us outside of us in the media and in the news and all this other shit in the music. It is control tools. Like for example, Operation Mockingbird. This was in the 40s and 50s. It was designed to influence major media outlets and journalists. It's over, but it still seems that the blueprint still exists. They shaped the public opinion and instilled fear tactics and controlling narratives, and they were planting stories for the masses to adapt to what they were trying to do. And if you don't know about it, please look it up for the sake of your mind, for the sake of your soul, so you can understand that this type of shit is part of how we got here. And it's okay, cool, because we can not only change our lives, but in turn change the world around us. But it starts with us. It starts with us as an individual first. In order to change anything, we have to change ourselves first. So like I said, kudos to you for being here. Much love to you. Much peace, happiness, joy, prosperity. Honestly, because the world needs more of this type of shit, type of people to really have some accountability and courage to do something. They always put out fear, chaos, emergencies in the headlines to keep people in a survival state. So there was a lot of anxiety, a lot of fear, a lot of outrage. And once we become aware of this type of shit, we can stop feeding into it because we're aware. We can't see what we're not aware of. This type of stuff, not even just talking about the social and cultural programming, but, the generational energy, like, it leads to spiritual disconnection. It leads us down the path of forgetting our soul's purpose, forgetting who we truly are, our inherent worth and oneness. We're I can't reiterate enough that we're divine. We're connected to that oneness. Therefore, we are divine. We are oneness. We are a part of this beautiful creation that we get to experience. We're the universe experiencing ourselves. How we can recognize this within our life is, do you feel guilty when you achieve something, or you get something that you really enjoy? Do you feel guilty? Even if it's just buying a little simple something. You sabotage relationships, whether it be friendship, intimate relationships, or money flow because of guilt. Maybe you feel like you're leaving somebody behind, or you don't want to be perceived as a certain type of person, or all rich people are assholes, or the love of money is the root of all evil type shit, or you feel like you're unworthy of having great relationships because whatever thing you experienced in the past, or whatever somebody said to you. You can recognize it by if you feel like you're disconnected from joy or happiness, or you have no purpose, or you have no clear reason on why you're here. These are keys that you can see and notice that you are disconnected from who you truly are. And with this awareness, you can change it, because you're chained energetically, and you can unchain yourself energetically as well. All you have to do, well, not all you have to do, but it's just really a sense of changing your energy, changing what you focus on, and putting down. Stop focusing on the things that don't serve you, the things that don't feel good, the thoughts and the beliefs that keep you in a place of unwantedness. You know what I mean? I don't deserve that. I can't buy that. I can't afford that. I can't have that. I can't take this vacation. I have so many responsibilities. Nobody likes me. I know I'm not going to get the job because the other person's better than me. That's all energy. That's the energy that you're putting out. So you can change your energy by the things that you say and the things that you choose to believe in. Once you really accept and your true knowing is not even a belief. You know who you are. You know whose you are. Because a belief is just the thoughts that you keep thinking and repeating to yourself. So therefore, it's the truth of you. It's your belief about you. But when you know, nothing can change it. Just like you know who your parents are, you know that you're part of these people. You don't believe they're your parents. You know they're your parents, right? So when you know whose you are and who you are, there's no stopping you. And you accept it. Oh, man. The blessings, the abundance, the prosperity, the happiness, the peace, the joy, the love, it all comes into fruition because you decided to change, because you decided to shift your perspective and your energy, and you raised your vibration, your frequency to your true essence. So comment below which chain you have felt the most, whether that be shame, guilt, or disconnection. And if you're ready to break free from these chains and architect your reality on purpose, with purpose, and step into power, join the Cosmic Abundance Network. The link is in the description, always and forever. Or if you feel like you need a one-on-one mentor session, book one with me. It's also in the description. we can unblock some of these chains together and figure out a path, a better path, a routine, new habits, whatever it is that you need. You will be answering some questions before we even meet. If that's what you feel like you want, the link is in the description. So I already talked about acknowledging and becoming aware on the disconnection, but I'm going to go deeper on how to break these spiritual and energetic chains. Of course, it's the awareness. Of course, it's the acknowledgement, becoming aware of the disconnection from source and God, oneness, whatever you want to call it. It's all an illusion. You have never been separate from this. You know what I mean? Just like you can be millions of miles away from your parents, but they're still within you somehow, some way, in the DNA and in your behaviors, something. You're never really separate. Okay, so we have to keep in mind that the matrix, this structure that we live in, is thriving on making you forget who you are, that you are the universe in human form. You are the universe experiencing itself. It thrives on you forgetting that, because it's taking your energy. You're giving your energy and serving it their purpose. They don't want you to find your power. They don't want you to remember your power. So it's good to have shadow work and inner child healing. It helps you see where the guilt, the shame, or the generational patterns are planted. They help you see where the roots are, and they help you uproot them and plant new seeds. You know what I mean? Because we can't plant a strawberry seed and expect a lemon. You know what I mean? So with this shadow work and inner child healing, you're going to uproot these traumas or whatever it is and plant new seeds of prosperity and abundance and love and whatever it is that you want for your life, coming from love. You know what I mean? Not from the ego and trying to show up somebody and be better than somebody else. Now we're going to be better than who we were yesterday. That's all that matters, is being better than who we were, who we are. That's it. That's all that matters, because the only thing that we can control is us, by our energy. Energy feeds off of energy. So if you're the best self, if you're your best self and your energy shows it, you're putting off that energy, the energy around you will change. There's nothing you can do to manipulate anything besides manipulate your own energy. So if you haven't already, check out the first video of this series and you'll understand more on what to do for shadow work and inner child healing. Even the video before this one, I just feel like I'll be repeating myself, but the first 3 videos touches on inner child healing and shadow work. But the second one is going to be reframing the guilt and shame. These emotions often come from, like I said, the old programming, the religious, family, society, whatever it may be. And instead of resisting, instead of pushing it down, instead of suppressing it, we're going to ask, what is this emotion trying to teach me? How can I love this part of me and integrate it into who I'm becoming? You know what I mean? How can I love this part of me to heal it? Because the only way to heal something is to love it. We can't suppress it. We have to acknowledge it. We have to see it for what it is. And like I said, replace the judgment with compassion and love. And it'll dissolve and erase these energy blocks. The energy is going to start moving through you. It's not just going to be stuck in anywhere. You know what I mean? In your back, in your gut, in your neck. It's not going to be stuck. It's going to be able to move up through you and to you and for you. You know what I mean? It's not going to be stuck. You're going to feel lighter. You're going to feel happier. Literally and figuratively. Healthier. Because you are healing. Heal thy healthy. Heal thyself. When it comes to generational energy healing, we understand that some patterns are inherited. Beliefs about money, fear, unworthiness, etc. So we can practice affirmations and incantations, or ask affirmations, whatever feels good to you. Like, I honor my lineage, but I choose a new path. Incantation, I honor my lineage, but I choose a new path. You know, exclamation on certain words. I honor my lineage, but I choose a new path. That's incantations. Affirmations. Why did I choose a new path and become so abundant and happy in this lifetime? Why am I so blessed to have the courage to do better for myself? You know, whatever feels good to you. And feel it while you're saying it. Feel it. I love incantations because you feel it. You feel the energy. You know what I mean? It's not just saying something, but either way, whatever feels good to you, feel that energy, because the feeling is the key. Like, straight up, with anything in life, the feeling is the key. Just like you feel the guilt, the shame, the disconnection, the feeling is the key. You can feel abundance, you can feel prosperity, you can feel happiness, you can feel peace, you can feel joy right now. Things don't have to change in order for you to feel these feelings. But how you feel it is by repeating and creating new habits of belief and taking inspired action. You know, the inspired action comes as a icing on the cake. You don't have to do anything but just be you, find peace, and it comes to you in waves. Life is cyclical. So we just have patience and enjoy the journey. All right? And we can visualize. Visualization equals feeling too. Also imagination, and imagination creates manifestations. So imagine cutting these cords of shame, guilt, or situations that makes you feel a certain way that you would rather not, you know. So send love back to your ancestors or the people that hurt you, and freeing both you and them, you know, whatever the situation is. Cut the cords. Imagine cutting the cord. You know, like I said, we got to get used to be just sitting with ourselves, so we can go in our mind space, quiet our mind, go to a calm place, whether that be a room or a beach or a mountaintop, a summit somewhere. I don't know. Whatever feels good to you, we can go to that space and just imagine cutting the cord, or whether that be an umbilical cord, a string, or, you know, whatever comes to mind that feels natural to you. Cutting that cord and and whether that be burning it from, I don't know. You know what feels good to you. Your imagination, your subconscious mind is going to tell you, don't fight it. We can also reconnect to source, God, oneness, also through meditation, breath work, EFT tapping, grounding practices to help you remember who you are. Getting out in nature, just sitting, noticing the things around you that are all natural, and just taking note. You know, things are going to come to you once you allow things to just unfold instead of trying to control and detach. Detachment is good in a certain way, you know what I mean? Detaching from outcomes, detaching from how to control, but detaching emotionally, that's not it, because energy is everything, and how we feel is through emotions. That's our energy. We have to learn the difference and discern what is good for us and how we can really make it to the top. You feel me? And something that you can start to affirm to yourself is, I am divine, fractal, infinite intelligence. I am whole and connected. I am divine. I am whole and connected. I am a divine, fractal, infinite intelligence. I am whole and I'm connected. That feels so good to say. I am a divine, fractal, infinite intelligence. I am whole and connected. That raised my frequency. I don't know about y'all, but We can also engage in high vibrational activities or habits to raise our frequency. Nature walks, gratitude. Gratitude is the attitude for the altitude, you feel me? For raising your vibration, for elevating, for rising and allowing our true essence. You know what I mean? Allowing prosperity. Straight up, gratitude is the fucking attitude. Because just think about it. Complaining, finding lack, you find more lack. You find more things to complain about. It's the same thing goes for higher vibrations. Gratitude brings more things for you to be grateful about. We can find creative expressions through painting, through picking up a guitar or playing the drums, or creating a video. Something that feels good to you to create. Creating jewelry, whatever. You can do qigong, yoga. It's really important when you feel that shame and guilt, replace it with acceptance, compassion, and self-love. Love yourself through it all, because this restores alignment. Everything that I just named off to you to break the chains restores alignment with oneness, divine creation, source, God, Buddha, Allah, whatever you want to call it. So I want to do a little practice exercise with y'all, all right? Take a deep breath. Sit with me. Now, if you're driving, don't even do it. But if you have the time to just sit, take a deep breath. Place your hand on your heart and say, I'm safe to be fully me. I release shame, guilt, and old story. I am connected to source. I'll see y'all for the 5th and final episode of the Freedom Codes, the behavioral chains, the cycles, the sabotage, the habits that don't serve you. Stay tuned. Have a great day. Happiness, peace, and love to you. Next time.